Yes, I mean, she has highlighted how she believes that when it comes to the Refugee Convention in particular, she believes that that system, that asylum system, is being gamed. And really, in some startling facts, she highlighted that really should bring it home to lots of people in the UK about how the asylum system is impacting on other nations. We know that there are 50,000 people, asylum seekers, who are in hotel accommodation in the UK, but Suella Braverman telling our audience there that in March of this year, one third of all the hotels in Ireland were given up for use by asylum seekers. Now, that's a country, of course, that relies on hotels for its very significant tourism trade. New York, another city that has a very big tourist trade, 40,000 hotel rooms are being given over to asylum seekers as well. So very significant impacts in multiple places around the world, which is why Suella Braverman wants to see Western countries in particular coming together on this issue. And she really pointed to Lampedusa as being the front line of the crisis in Europe and highlighted to her audience just what Lampedusa has had to suffer in recent months. This is what she said.
Lampedusa, where in a 24-hour period beginning on the 12th of September, over 120 boats, over 100 boats carrying more than 5,000 illegal migrants made the 100-mile crossing from Tunisia in Africa to Italy. Within 48 hours, illegal arrivals outnumbered the local population and a state of emergency had been declared. By the 20th of September, at least 11,000 had landed, with migrants sleeping in the street, stealing food and clashing with the police. These 11,000 are part of the estimated 133,000 people who've already come to Italy illegally by sea in the first 6 months of this year. That number is almost double the number of arrivals at the same point in 2022.
And the people of Lampedusa are really feeling this migration crisis acutely. Where we are now is down at the harbour as these winds blow, the winds that are preventing the migrant boats from coming. The rain is starting now as well. But down here in the harbour, you can see the fishing boats there. They're tied up for the moment because of the winds here. They're not able to go out to sea. But fishermen that we've been speaking to, Patrick, have told us that it's been very difficult for them in recent months because so many of these boats, you heard Suella Braverman saying 120 boats that had crossed in just a 24-hour period. Well, they see these boats out at sea and then they have to intervene to help them because of the rules at sea of saving lives. And that means their work for the day is effectively over. They have to wait for the Coast Guard to come and pick them up. And just next to the fishing boat here actually is one of those Coast Guard vessels gearing up for what they know will be another sustained and busy period, a surge that they're expecting later in the week when this windy condition that's sweeping through the island at the moment, the wind and the rain, that subsides and we get back to what we expect at this time of year, more Mediterranean type conditions. But we were speaking a little earlier to one of the senior Red Cross officials on the island, Serena Cornelia, who told us what they were doing to prepare for this migrant surge later in the week.
A lot of people is more difficult to give the support, but we try to give food, give kit, give psychological support and health support to all the people inside the center. We have specialized team of psychologists, doctors and operators and volunteers that work with minors. So we have tried to take care of all the people inside the center.
And how are you preparing for the possibility of more boats when the weather improves?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we are preparing kits with clothes, hygiene kits, food kits in the way to be prepared at the arrival.
Well, with no sign of the migrant boats yet, understandably, because they could never cross in these conditions, the Coast Guard is just on standby. The helicopter was up sweeping over the coastline earlier today, but all of the Coast Guard and the police patrol vessels are in port waiting for, we think, about Wednesday into Thursday is when these conditions will begin to subside.
OK, great stuff. Look, Mark, thank you very, very much. You won't need your Factor 50 today, that's for sure. Mark White, there, Home and Security Editor in a windy and rainy Lampedusa. Look,